That one in there. So we've got two cameras set up on the aircraft today. One looking at you, which is over there, and one looking over our shoulder. So it gives us the vision that we've got. It's got all the instruments in it, and also the view forward as well.
Brilliant.
So all that's happening now is this device here is starting to wake up, and that was the voice we just heard in our ear. That voice, you may hear it, we might not if it's quiet up there today, but you may hear it a few times as the as traffic calls.
Noted. Level.
There we go.
Yeah.
That just tells us that there are aircraft around. What we will do is just come to Boddington on there. Wickenby Radio, good afternoon, Golf Charlie Lima, Mike Hotel, request radio check and taxi. 211-012-1014 Golf Mike Hotel. I'm thinking that's what he said. That's what he said earlier, so I'll stay with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come onto the runway here, and then down the far end for our takeoff. The engine's nice and warm already because I've literally just landed with it about 15 minutes ago. So we can. The only thing we've got left to do is a quick engine run up to make sure that there are no problems under the bonnet with the ignition system, and then we can fly straight off. The more time we spend up there, the better.
Level.
So you got to fly in the Lancaster?
Yeah, I did.
That must have been some experience.
It was fairly bloody good. Yeah.
Noisy, smelly, but all in the right sense.
Yeah. Really, I've got to appreciate what it was like because you had to clamber over the main spar.
Yeah.
And, the doors to the rear turret were closed, but I went down there to have a look.
Yeah.
Because it's at the end of the pivot, it's moving up and down a lot more than the rest of the aircraft.
Yeah.
Stay out, obviously, so I started to feel a bit Uncle Mick. I thought, I'm not going to throw up on a leg. Went back and had a look out, but yeah, it was brilliant. Took off from Coningsby, flew around a bit, landed. I had about half an hour.
Yeah.
Aircraft calling Wickenby, again, call sign, please.
Golf Bravo Tango Uniform 2, please fire radio check, how do you do?
Hello, readability 5, runway 21, QC 1012, QNH 1014.
Roger, what's between Golf Uniform here?
189 at 3 knots.
So before...
Roger, I'll go on to 1, but probably look at 15 and turn over.
So before we go, we're going to run it up.
Roger, 1 aircraft into 1.
So engine RPM sat about 4,000 RPM. I'm just going to shut down the right ignition system first. We get a slight drop, we get a slight drop, and we're making sure that the engine's still running fine and there's nothing showing up red on the engine information. Bring it back.
Hello, Wickenby Radio, this is so slight.
Left side. Turn it down a little bit. So that's still good. So we can bring that one back up, and everything else is looking happy. Make sure the engine idles safely, which it does, and then we're just going to go one stage of flaps for takeoff. Are you happy?
Yeah, you're good.
Right, let's go. Full power set. And now we're airborne. Unlike most aeroplanes, we don't need full power to climb in this. So we literally just use full power to get the wheels off the ground, and then we can bring it right back to about 5,000. Two reasons: it reduces the noise, and we're so streamlined as a little machine, we can bring it back and burn less fuel.
I can really see the old runways now.
Yeah. So what we'll do on his way back, we'll come right over the top of the airfield, and you'll see just how big the base used to be during the war. It's amazing. We only literally use about a third of what actually was used.
Yeah, I've had a look on Google Earth and the old maps.
Yeah. Okay, so we've passed 500. I can get rid of the flaps. Keep on climbing.
How high are we going to go?
Probably sit around about 1,500 feet today. So not too high, but at that height it's quite smooth. Any higher than that, I found it was quite turbulent earlier, so the smoother the better, really. So it gives us a good chance to have a look round. So climbing into the overhead.
Got like a tail, Roger.
Turning back up a little bit now.
So, Papa November, Energy Reactive 2-1, lined up for immediate departure.
Max Delta Waddington 119.5.
Golf Mike Hotel, Roger.
Okay, so we're coming up onto 1,500, so I'll just start to level the aircraft off just by pushing the nose forward and then bringing the power back to our cruise setting. Bring the mouthpiece up just a little bit above your that's better, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I just said someone else is taking off.
Yeah, we're nice and high above them. Waddington Zone, good afternoon, Golf Charlie Lima, Mike Hotel. So where Scampton is, just remind me, Ingham is about, is just to the northwest of it, isn't it?
It's just slightly north of Scampton, it's,
Yeah.
it's on the same ridge.
Yeah.
There was an RAF station there as well.
That was a bit close, wasn't it?
Well, not as close as Dunholm Lodge was, I don't think.
Wow.
I think their circuits almost crossed.
Touched each other.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So yeah, we're now level at 1,500 feet, 1,500 feet, and we're doing 87, 88 knots, which is around about 96, 97 miles an hour.
Right.
So we're nearly travelling at 100 miles an hour.
You don't feel it, do you?
No, that's the best bit about aeroplanes, is you can fly as fast as you want within reason, and you almost don't feel like you're moving. So we've got Welton down here on our left, Welton and Dunholm. On our right hand side we've got the former RAF Foldingworth.
Foldingworth,
I had to think then.
Yeah, their runway's a bit more hidden, aren't they?
Yeah, so they've been grown over by trees, but the shape of the trees indicates where the tarmac would have been. And the only little bit of the main north-south runway left is this bit closest to us now, and you can see the dark green running away from us. Scampton Tower, good afternoon, Golf Charlie Lima, Mike Hotel. So, that's the best scenario we could have, is nobody talks to us. That means they're still shut and they're not ready to receive the red arrows yet. Which means we can pretty much do as we like. So my plan is we've got Scampton obviously on our left-hand side here, big long tarmac runway, but we're going to stay just a little bit to the north of that, and then I think Ingham is just on our left-hand side down here. Maybe it might be in the trees.
Yeah, I think that is the one.
Yeah.
Windmill, if you can see it.
Scampton traffic, Golf Charlie Lima, Mike Hotel, Pipistrel Alpha, level 1,600 feet, sortie over Ingham.
That's Hemswell over there then, yeah?
That's Hemswell over there, yeah. So it's going to be one of these two here. I think it's probably that one in the trees.
Yeah, it is. I recognise that farm, yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll come round it and we'll put it on your side.
3,400 feet above.
Bit of a nuisance, aren't they, the old headsets?
Well, I've got a bandana and my specs as well, and a mask, yeah.
So Dan, what do you do for a living? What's your...
Right, so the reason I know a bit about the RAF is I'm a historian for the Bomber Command Centre.
Oh, brilliant. So that makes sense why we want to go over there.
Yeah. That's how I got a lift in
the line.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do...
That'll be where I live then, it's that one.
Down here? Right, so what we'll do is we'll come round left and bring it back round on the right so it's on your side.
Ow.
What I'll do is I'll just come a little bit further south and then back round to the right so it's on your side. Try and make everything nice and smooth for you. Nothing worse than being thrown around when you're trying to look at something on the ground.
Opposite Lima Victor, enter the runway, backtracking the runway.
Golf Lima Victor from Golf Mike Hotel, we're currently level 1,600 feet, 1014, overhead Ingham, which is just on the edge of Scampton's ATZ.
That's it, I can see the house.
Found the house. There we go. So what I'm going to do, just going to keep coming round. We'll head out towards the Trent, down towards Newark, unless there's anything else en route you want to specifically look at.
No, that's great.
And then we'll come back round. Lincoln's only there, so you can imagine if we'd have gone here, there and back.
Yeah.
Way too quick.
Have a look at Scampton then.
Yeah. So there's a Flying Club aircraft just on the runway. You just see the white shape.
Traffic, Golf opposite Lima, taking off at runway 04.
There you go, so he's just calling, taking off. So he'll roll and come out, and he's going to be a right-hand turn, but we're well above him, so he'll be well out of our way. Yeah.
Yeah, they do circuit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He's airborne now.
Needed a barreled long.
Yeah, we don't quite need as much of that. They're quite quick. So we've got a former US Air Force base on our right hand side, Sturgate. Just about see the runways in the distance. Just paralleling now the northerly runway look. That big settlement there is Saxelby. So is it a birthday gift, Christmas gift, or?
You know what, I can't remember now if it's birthday or Father's Day.
Father's Day, yeah.
It's birthday, it's my birthday.
The birthday one. A lot of green open space, isn't there? It's you look around and you think we're quite built up now. We're building lots of houses and lots of infrastructure around. But when you get up here, you can realise actually we've only just scratched the surface with it.
Yeah. Well, that's nice to see. A solar farm.
A solar farm, yeah.
I never understand the people that reckon the wind turbines are ugly but are okay with a power station.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. I'd take a small wind turbine than a great big lump of concrete. Yes, so there's a little bit more story about the electric aeroplane. The factory have built now a type certified fully electric aircraft identical to this, just with an electric engine at the front. And there is now one in the UK.
All right.
We've been, as a school, we've been instrumental in getting that aircraft into the UK with the importer. And there's a consortium of 3 different businesses, us based here in Lincolnshire, one based in Suffolk and another one based in Essex. And the plan is to have 50 in the UK in the next 3 years. And that will hopefully change our fleet completely to electric aircraft. The only downside to it for us is the cross-country aspect of it. Doing something like this in an electric aeroplane, it is quite difficult because the battery life from charge to charge is only 60 minutes with a 10-minute reserve.
Right.
So you really want to be staying quite close to the airfield. Get rid of that one. You just want to be staying quite close to the airfield. So what we did as a compromise, whilst this process was going through, is we bought this aircraft, which is a ultra high efficient, clean. It's one of the cleanest combustion engines on the market at the moment. This is flying around, burning unleaded fuel, not avgas, not leaded avgas, at 9 litres per hour, where the old, what we call the legacy aircraft, the Cessnas and the Pipers, will burn 100 octane low lead, and they're burning between 25 and 35 litres per hour, dependent on the aircraft. So we thought, well, we've got to do something, and this was our biggest chance of becoming as clean as we could with the tech that we had at the time. And the plan will be to replace the whole fleet into electric as the battery life from charge to charge gets better, yeah. So yeah, you can see we're quite happily sat around. There's not a lot of wind up here today. We're just bimbling along quite nicely. We've got the Fosdyke here, which runs up towards Saxby, then into Lincoln. The River Trent on our right hand side.
Yeah.
You can see we're just not really doing an awful lot. It's not like the films where you see them throwing the aircraft all over the place.
No, well, I guess your fighters they're built to be twitchy, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. As you can see, everything on this I can do just with 2 fingers, and it's very, very delicate. Certainly at higher speeds, the slower the aircraft, if we slow it right down, the aircraft will be a lot more docile, and you can really throw it around a little bit, and it doesn't actually do a great deal. But the faster we go, and this will cruise quite happily anywhere up to 100 knots, which is about 110-ish miles an hour. At the moment we're doing only 80. I've brought the power right back because purely for the fact that, one, it saves fuel, makes it a little bit cleaner, which is our big push at the moment. And the second reason is the slower we are, the more you get to look around. If we were going somewhere and we wanted to get there in a hurry, just open the taps and off we go. But the whole purpose of a trip out like this is so we can see the places
Sure.
and be nice and gentle and a little bit more sedate with it.
What's the stall speed?
Stall speed is 27 knots.
Oh wow, okay.
So, yeah, we've got, unlike the older aircraft, the Cessnas and the Pipers, we've got a massive operating range, our standard operating range of speed, where the Cessna has probably got about 30 knots, 35 knots between normal cruise and stall in normal operations. In this we've got a massive, like 55, 60 knot difference from the top to the bottom, and if we were to say it was 30 knots, you could quite happily sit with the nose high, a little bit of power on, and if you had someone with a big camera and they wanted to look at somebody's house, you could quite easily get a lot of photos at that sort of speed. So yeah, we're happily just bimbling along as we are now. This down here, you can just see one of the old runways where the corner of the thing is. That's Wigley. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah, that was an OTU. Yeah.
Yeah. Try and do my little bit of history and try and point out as many bases as we go. And what we'll do is we'll come back up and we'll probably come up past Swinderby, in towards Lincoln, around Lincoln, and then back out towards Bardney and that way.
Brilliant.
So how long have you worked at Bomber Command?
Pretty much. I started as a volunteer.
Yeah.
So I did a PhD looking at the lives of Bomber Command ground personnel.
Oh, brilliant.
And I finished that, and I was unemployed for about a fortnight, and then I got the job working for the Bomber Command Centre.
Brilliant.
And I worked building the archives, so I've been interviewing veterans
Oh, wow.
5 years.
It's really shocking that it took so long to give them some recognition for what they did, which is just a real shame. But I'm just glad that there is some recognition for their efforts.
And I had my hand in designing the exhibition.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's quite probably somber place isn't the right term, but you can stand there and you can almost kind of get lost in time.
Yeah, it has an emotional impact.
Yeah. I've only been there once and stood there, and you think to yourself, wow, it almost just brings the hairs on the back of your neck up a little bit.
Has that little pump got anything to do with the fact we just flew over that water?
Absolutely, yeah, exactly that. So whenever you fly over moisture or trees which contain a lot of moisture, we get a little bit more thermic action. So What you tend to find around the River Trent and around the power stations is a lot of gliders. So they're wanting that thermal action of it pulling the aircraft up into the air. For us, it's a nuisance. We want to fly as smoothly as possible in one direction, and to do that, we have to just either climb up a little bit or descend down a tad to find that smooth air.
I know when they were first flying from Brooklands before the First World War, there was a pond or a lake near there, and they used to get that
little bit of turbulence over the top of it. Yeah. No, we've been quite lucky today. The forecast was saying by about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we should get some showers and a bit of rain, and not be very nice. But it seems to have held off. It's kind of stuck on the east coast.
Yeah.
I went Sleaford, Boston earlier, just before you came, and we just had to turn back a little bit earlier than Boston. It's kind of stuck on that eastern coast. And it seems to have stayed there all day, which is quite nice. Yeah, and coming out this way, you can see it's lovely and clear. But you just get a little bit of a bump. Like I say, it's just because there's so much water beneath us. Once we clear that, we won't have that.
So this height is just trimmed just to fly straight level,
yeah.
isn't it?
So there is no autopilot in this aeroplane. All I'm doing is just almost just hovering around it on the control stick. Once the aircraft's in trim, it's just like a sailing boat. It's going to get a little bit of turbulence, a little bit of wake, albeit we can't see the waves and the swell like you can on a boat. So we just kind of have to go with it a little bit, and if you start overcompensating for it, you get what's called pilot-induced oscillation, and you start to move the aircraft a lot more than it actually needs to be moved. So what I tend to do is, once I'm sat here and we're talking and we're looking around, I just kind of keep hands somewhere near it, just to try and keep the wings level. But most of my focus is either out the front or looking at the target that we're talking about, whether it be Newark or like England when we're over yours. It's not actually focused solely on what the aeroplane is doing. It's more about what's happening outside, and if that looks okay outside, I know that everything inside is going to be okay. It's relatively easy, and what we'll do is, when we've come round Newark, flying back towards Swinderby, we'll get you to have a go on the controls, which is what it's all about.
Wizard, thank you.
So we'll do the quick brief of how it all works. So, main stick in front of us controls our roll rate or our pitch. So if I wanted to go left, all I need to do is push left and the aircraft starts to go. Unlike a car, if I let go of the stick, it stays in that left-hand turn. We have to actively push it back to the right to bring the wings level.
Is why you get that pilot-induced oscillation.
Exactly, yeah. So if you start overcompensating, there's Newark showground.
See the Vulcan.
Big old long runway.
Yeah.
It's such a shame they've shut it. I have known people still to land on the centre section of the runway running away from us, just after the light tarmac to the dark. It's still in pretty good condition, and I have known people do touch and goes on it, which is stupid because it's no longer an airfield at all. If anyone reported them, they'd be absolutely screwed for it, but it's good fun.
Now, there were so many woods around Newark.
I know. It's engulfed, isn't it, all the way around. Lots of toys down there.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they were all still flying.
Yeah, Yeah, I miss the Vulcans. I grew up seeing those in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the most interesting part of Newark, is the old airfield, and
yeah.
I could kind of forget that bit.
Yeah, the castle's too old for me for
Yeah.
history goes.
Yeah,
It does look alright actually.
it's amazing. I'm more into modern history, like war and World War II, World War I. Ancient buildings have never really been a thing of mine. I just think that they hold too much secret and too much deceit. It's a little bit cynical, I know.
Go-karts go quite fast, don't they?
Little racing around the track, yeah. Right then, so you're going to fly the aeroplane.
Okay.
So left and right controls what the wings do.
Yeah.
The nose of the aeroplane, so if we wanted to pitch the nose up, if we were dropping a little bit, we just gently pull back to ourselves, look, the nose comes up and the picture disappears and the aircraft starts to climb a little bit.
Yeah.
If we wanted to push the nose forward to descend, get the nose down a little bit, just pull back a tiny bit, then we just push forward and the nose comes down and the picture changes and the aircraft starts to speed up. But if I just bring the power back a tiny bit, the aircraft is in trim and ready to go. So it's nice and gentle on the pitch. Almost. Are you left or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed. So rest your hand on your right leg, and you kind of just want to, bring it in a little bit, and just kind of caress around the bottom end of the stick. It's terrible terminology, I know, but that's. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow the 46 up to Lincoln. I'm giving you a nice, easy target. So we can gently lift the nose up slightly, hold it there, perfect. And then just come to the left ever so slightly.
It is ever so, it is
It's
tiny
just,
little movements.
It'll take you a couple of minutes just to get a feel for it, and then you'll be well away. Brilliant. So the wind is a little bit off the right of the aircraft. That's why it feels like we're crabbing ever so slightly. It's just that wind just pushing us away left. We're just compensating for that.
But I don't need to use the rudder pedal.
Not at all, no. Just the stick. At this speed, the rudder is almost just a footrest.
Okay.
Only when we slow the aircraft right down do we need the rudder pedal. That's brilliant, well done.
Yeah,
A little bit of a bump here. Very nice. And we can lift that nose up a tiny bit. There you go. Give us a little bit more power so we don't descend. Brilliant.
180 radar, Golf Romeo.
Just to prove it is all you. Amazing, isn't it? You've got to prove these things.
yeah, thank you.
Morning to phone, good afternoon, Golf Charlie, but Mike Hotel. You're still flying it. So down on our right hand side is former RAF Wickenby. Should be about there, I think.
Yeah, it is, I see it. Yeah, we should have ripped up the runways a lot.
Yeah, it's all gone now.
St Hughes, isn't it now?
Yeah.
I guess it's like driving a car though. The danger is you look at something, you fly towards it.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you start to lose the ground feature, the tendency is to push the nose forward to catch it.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is look at something, then move my eyes, keep moving my eyes further forward. Because what we want to try and do is keep that picture constant on the horizon. So if the nose keeps dropping, we could just ease the nose up slightly. There we go. That's brilliant, well done. And then what I want you to do is, forgetting about the the road, I want you to bring me to the left now. Perfect. And we can just ease the nose up slightly.
Yeah, I've just thought that just as...
Yeah, that's it, good. So it just starts to drop away from you in the turn. And it's just basic physics. If the aircraft is happy flying straight and level, if we want to do something different to that, we have to stop it from wanting to find the easiest route back to the ground. Very nicely done. And then if you bring wings level back to the right, and we'll straighten up a little bit, and we'll aim towards the power stations on
yeah.
We're not going that way, we are going to come back to Lincoln, but obviously going to get you as much flying time in as possible. Perfect. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come round to the right this time. Same again, a little bit of back pressure, stop it from descending. You've got the feel of it now. Perfect.
You hardly have to move it at all,
you almost just have to think it, don't you?
Yeah.
And if we roll out somewhere there, what we're going to do is we're going to go up the 46.
Yeah.
We'll go round the cathedral first. And because I'll put the cathedral on your side so you can see it, and then we'll come back out this way and we'll do a figure of 8 and we'll come back towards Bomber Command, and again that'll be on your side.
That road's the 46.
That's the 46.
So I need to turn into it a little.
Yeah, that's it. Anywhere there, that'll be fine. Perfect. And then, well, because you'll lose it, then you want it down your side so you can keep seeing it.
Yeah.
This down here on our left with the green roof is Doddington Hall.
All right, okay, yeah, I know where I am then.
Yeah. All of the white roof buildings on the 46 there are all the car dealerships, Mercedes and so on.
Yeah. Oh, that's that
new recycling
thing,
whatever, yeah.
I see the cathedral now, yeah.
Just about got it.
Losing the road, so I wanted to put my nose down, but I won't.
Well, just ease to the left a little bit then, and then what you can do is you'll put it down your side, and then instead of looking forwards at it, you'll kind of track it down the side of the aircraft.
Yeah.
There we go, brilliant.
You think Lincoln has got two bloody huge great hills in it, you can hardly see them from up here, can you?
It's amazing, isn't it? We might see it a little bit more because we're quite low.
Yeah.
We might just about make out Steep Hill as we come past it. But then as we come past the cathedral to the north, we'll add a little bit of power and we'll climb up just so we're above 1,500 feet to come back over the built-up area at the bottom of the hill. And on our left-hand side is Burton Waters, so we know where we are all the time.
Uni?
Yeah. That's just absolutely exploded, hasn't it, over Lincoln?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right then, follow me through on the controls. We're just going to climb up a little bit. So first thing we need to do is add a little bit more power. I'm just going to lift the nose up slightly, and we climb at about 70 knots. And there's nothing really to it. It's just a bit more power. Climbing up.
Oh, we had lost a bit, haven't we?
Yeah, just a tad. But it doesn't matter because there's no height restrictions. The only restriction we've got is when we come back with my plan, come back over the city, so you can look at the cathedral. Then when we do the U-turn, we'll come back towards Bomber Command. So you'll see it. It'll be on our left the first time, and then on your side on the second pass through. There we go. That should do us. So I'm just letting the nose come down a little bit more. Ease the power back again. Perfect. And it might get a little bit bumpy over the city. It's just all the hot air rising from cars and house roofs and things. We've spoilt you all the way around so far, putting you in the countryside. This is Rise Home down here. The agricultural.
That's where my office is.
Is it down here?
Yeah, when I'm allowed to be in the office.
I've
been working from home for the last year and a half, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's it. Big old setup, isn't it?
Yeah. In the old hall.
Right, we'll come round to the right, back in towards the city.
Sound like that or more?
No, that's perfect. Nice and gentle. Good, and if you roll out just a fraction there, perfect, because then what we're looking for is not to cut in, we don't want to be this side of the cathedral, we want to be through the middle of the cathedral and Bomber Command. Like I say, we're then going to go out over where they're building all the university buildings, and then come back on ourselves and put Bomber Command on your side then.
Okay.
Impressive structure, isn't it, on the top of the hill?
Oh god, yeah. For saying you don't like old buildings, that one's not too bad.
That's not bad, no. That one never gets old to look at.
And the castle, you can actually see the altitude there.
Yeah, you can see the elevation on that.
You get to have a look and see what they're doing to Pelham Bridge as well.
Yes. Yeah, all the new bypass, new main road running past us down here towards Waddington.
Yeah.
This is all the new bit.
Yeah, I've driven it a few times.
Yeah. Perfect. A little bit more into the bank now. Perfect. Amazing. It takes 5-10 minutes, doesn't it? And you get the feel for the aircraft and you've relaxed into it and you're doing all the work. Very nice. Keep coming a little bit more. Yeah. And then just roll wings level there for me. And it's down here on our left hand side.
Oh, yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll come down and we'll come over the ridge, and then that keeps us outside of the built up area and back over.
I've gone a bit high again.
That's alright, don't worry about that. We can sort that out. Right then, I'll let you relax for a second. I'm going to throw us that way a little bit.
Okay.
And descend us down just a fraction.
Bit of delay on the artificial horizons, what aircraft does and what that does, isn't it?
Yeah, it just takes a second to keep up with us. Once we've cleared the built-up area, past the train line, we're then going to come over left. So the power out, just get us to descend a tiny fraction. Bring us down to about 1,200 feet.
By killing
Yeah, just bring the revs back. Because what I don't want to do, if I point the nose down, it speeds up. We want to be as slow as possible past it so you can have a good look at it. So the only way I can slow us down is by bringing the power out a little bit. I get a little bit bumpy, we'll come a bit lower.
Cars all over.
Lots of cars in.
Yeah.
It certainly never gets old to look at. Fortunately, that's about as close as I can get because of Waddington's air traffic zone. Can't get any closer into it without causing mayhem at Waddington, even though they're not open.
Don't want to do that.
A little trickle of power. I think the rain is just coming, look. Just see it getting a lot darker over, back over towards the airfield. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get you to fly it again whenever you're ready, nice and gentle. We'll stay about this height.
Okay.
We're going to go towards the silos on the Witham, which is that's Bardney.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, anywhere there, aiming in that direction. That's brilliant. This one down here with all the solar panels on is RAF Wickenby. You can just about see one of the old runways. The other one runs there, and then they've put solar panels on the northern side of it. Not a bad way of seeing the countryside, is it?
Alright, yeah.
So what made you do a PhD in history then? What was the...
Well, I went to uni late in life.
Yeah.
Always been interested in the RAF because growing up round here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Being local.
Can't go anywhere in any direction without tripping over one, can you?
No, they're all there. It's just finding them, isn't it?
So, two of the jobs, one I worked in a warehouse that was on an old RAF station.
Yeah.
And another job I worked nights. And I got to thinking about how bloody crap it was for the people on the ground.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks about them.
No. No, we only ever talk about the pilots and the famous names of the war.
I mean, I'm always having to go at people that all they want to know about is the dam busters.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Wickenby because I used when Anne had museum there.
I thought I've recognised your face. I've seen you around before. Yeah.
I've been there a few times. Did some other research with some of the records.
Yeah.
Got in the company.
Yeah, it's Wickenby's a bit of an oddity. It had two squadrons based there. Started with Wellingtons, then quickly after they opened, they went to Lancasters, I believe. And this is where you correct me, because I've been telling everybody this for the last 4 years. We lost somewhere in the region of about 1,500 personnel during our very short time as being an airbase, and it's quite a sombre place to be with still being on the actual runways.
Yeah.
At most airfields now, I can think of a few off the top of my head, Santoff being one. It's still an old RAF base, but they actually use a taxiway as their runway.
Okay.
They've got rid of all the actual main tarmac. But we are still quite privileged to be able to use the footprint of the runways, even though we only use a third of it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the second squadron, but it was 12 squadron, wasn't it? It was,
yeah, we had 12 and 623, I think, or 622.
Six something, yeah. Yeah, that's gone a bit grim looking, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. It's coming in, isn't it? Right then. we're almost at Bardney. We're going to start coming round to the left before we get into that rubbish over there. That's Wickenby back in there.
That's downwind side, so I can see the other aircraft further out.
Perfect. Yep, roll out there. Wickenby should be about on the nose when we roll down, and that keeps us out of all that rubbish.
I can't see it.
No, you won't be able to. You can just about see the white hangar roof on the far side of the airfield.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of the aircraft. That is Wickenby.
So lots of the people I've talked to,
Yep.
they always talk about navigating by landmarks, so the cathedral's a big one, but...
Cathedral's a big one. For us now, the power stations. Belmont Tower, which is behind all this rubbish over there. No, you can just about see it, look. Just in the distance, sticking up. For us, Market Raisin Racecourse is another good one. So if we ever get lost, we go to Market Raisin Racecourse, turn south, fly for 2 miles, and there's the airfield beneath us. Yeah, other things that are really easy to spot and fly along are railway lines, because they're almost nearly all straight. And for us, from Wickenby to Lincoln, it's almost a straight line if you follow the railway line. So if you take off, follow that, you'll get to Lincoln. Right then, I'll let you relax and I'll take it. All we're going to do is we're going to come back in. Wickenby's just on the nose now. Wickenby Radio, good afternoon. Golf Charlie Lima Mike Hotel inbound. Currently 3 miles to the south. Request out information. 211014, copied. Circuit traffic, Golf Mike Hotel. Somebody has lost a love art balloon. Just show you, because it's something you never see, or very rarely see. Where's it gone? Oh, I've lost it. That's peculiar. It just went past the window. I was talking. I was well, it's something you hardly ever see. A little balloon flying along, one of those little helium things. But some poor child's crying now because.
It happened to all of my kids at some point.
Yeah, let go of it and it disappears. I used to think I used to be able to catch them, so you'd let it go, try and catch it, and you'd have no chance.
No, you can see it.
Oh, there it is. Just above us, look.
Oh wow, it's going fast, isn't it? Well spotted. That's you playing at fighter pilots, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, you have to have little moments like that where you see something, and I was quite privileged yesterday. There were two chaps who've got chipmunks based here, and somebody's passed away in one of the villages, and they wanted to do a fly past in formation, and I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to sit in the back seat of one of the chipmunks, and what a fantastic experience that was. Golf Hotel is downwind runway 21, contact with the chipmunk on climb out.
Oh, I see.
Just here, look.
Golf Charlie Tango, downwind 21, full stop.
The get together at Chip.
Golf Hotel is number 2 to the chipmunk. Yeah, Yeah, so we'll let them go first. We're a little bit wider out than them.
Wickenby radio, Golf Alpha, radio from Tango for information, please.
Norfolk November Romeo, Wickenby radio, readability 5, runway use, runway 21, wind QNH is 1014.
Yeah, so that's the one I was actually sat in the back seat of it yesterday. So I'm hoping at some point she's going to turn. There we go, she's turning now. I was thinking we're getting further and further into the dark clouds and we're not going anywhere. So once she's behind the wing, we can then start turning inbound at that.
Yeah.
About now. Gone really dark over here. Landing light can come on as well, make ourselves a little bit more visible. At this point I'm just going to pop one stage of flaps in. Mind your elbow, sorry. The next stage will knock your elbow.
Yeah, well.
Golf Charlie Tango, roger.
Golf Hotel, final runway 21, number 2.
Golf Hotel, roger.
I'm just trying to slow us down a little bit. At this point we can go.
Traffic alert.
Next one.
400 feet below.
And she's out again. We can continue.
Golf Hotel, give me radio, readability 5, runway use, runway 21. QP 1013, QNH 1014.
5 will go 200. Cool, thank you.
Hotel, short final 2-1.
Wickenby radio, Golf Bravo, Express, Charlie Tango, request, express, November 1.
And we're down.
Yeah. Go bloody low before you land, don't you?
Golf Charlie Tango, roger.
The proposed traffic will first run just a little bit out of the east, we've got a couple more circuits, and we'll position down to 1-5.
That was brilliant, thank you.
You're very welcome. Golf Hotel active vacated.
Traffic notice level.
Golf Bravo, Golf Romeo is lining up runway 21.
That lights can go off, that can go off, that can go off, that off. And all we're going to do is just shut down each magneto in turn. And the engine